Hi, welcome to Two Devs on the Sofa. My name's Charlie.
Hi, and I'm Mike.
And we have a very special guest. But before we get to the special guest, Mike has got a bit of an intro about where we are today.
Yeah, so as you can see, we're on a different sofa from, well, every other time. So today we're in the engine shed in Bristol. So the engine shed is a startup sort of accelerator space in Bristol. They work with all sorts of different companies, from small to big, including freelancers, companies like TechSpark and Oracle Startup Incubator are based here. Set Squared are upstairs. They run the innovation centre in Bath that we used to be based at. There's lots of really great companies here. It's a perfect place to come and work if you need somewhere in Bristol. So yeah, check it out. We'll put the links underneath the video as we usually do.
Cool. Awesome. So, on to our very special guest. Special guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'd love to. So, my name's Adam Jones. I'm the CTO of a company called Redington.
Brilliant. And just to finish off the roll call as well, we've got one very special other person. We have an audience for the first time today. We've got one person as a freelancer that's come to watch while they're on their lunch. Nice. Cool. So tell us a little bit about Redington then.
Cool. So Redington, we are a fintech and we're on a mission to make 100 million people financially secure. So we came from a bigger business and a part of an investment consultancy basically. It's based in London. And we've been building tech for the last 10 years.
Sure.
Most of it was internally facing. So most of it was tools that let our consultancy team do a better job.
Yeah.
About 12 months ago we said, we've got a load of IP, we've got a load of tech, is this not basically a SaaS business now that's waiting for a customer? And it turns out it is. So I joined the firm about 12 months ago, and the point really is to build out a SaaS business and to scale up our development function in doing that.
Amazing. So when you say about making people more financially informed, what are the kind of the boots on the ground level things that are being happening that Redington are putting out there?
So there's a few different things. So I guess, broad purpose, make 100 million people financially secure.
Yeah.
Core business does this by de-risking pension schemes. So if you're in one of the pension schemes that we advise on, we make sure that you will have money when you retire. We help our clients to manage their money and assets so that when we get to the point of retirement, you can be safe and happy in the knowledge you've got a pension. So that's kind of core business. There's lots of other business lines in Redington, many of which contribute to financial security in the same kind of way.
Yeah.
But the other big thing we do is we've got a charity called Redstart. So Redstart started as kind of a few people in Redington trying to do good things in the world, and it's spun out into a separate charity focused around financial education and well-being for kids, basically. So we go to schools, we run Redstart days and sessions where we teach kids through games how they can manage debt and budgeting and avoid scam artists, and we've got a load of partner companies who help us roll that out. So that's the other big arm to kind of what we're trying to do. We kind of run our business, we run our charity, and at the heart of everything is this point of trying to make 100 million people financially secure.
That's awesome. That's really exciting. So what's it like when you're working with the kids? Do they understand what you're teaching them, or is it more just kind of getting them interacting with finances and everything?
I think kids kind of get it when you explain it. I think it's by the time we become adults that we've forgotten everything that we're confident in it. Yeah, you can. Like, we're confident in our own knowledge, even if it's not necessarily supported by adults. But yeah, so the kids love it. We've done it through games so the kids can get engaged. And the whole point of the day is basically to do a series of tasks to try and build up savings and build up money. And kind of competition. What can you get at the end of it? We play off things like the concept of manual labour versus the concept of saving and investing through these games.
Sure.
They normally like it. There's a character called Rich Ricky that we introduce, who's basically a con artist, and you've got the opportunity to give your money to Rich Ricky, and he'll go off and invest it for you, guarantee you, twice as much money back, which is awesome.
Have you got his number?
Right? Yeah, absolutely. I've always been looking for that in my life, but it turns out he actually just walks off with all the kids' money.
Right.
So it's a tough lesson sometimes, but classic Rich Ricky. Can't trust him. With a name like that as well, he sounds so reliable. So trustworthy. But yeah,
so sure my bank is called that. I should probably
maybe have a word. Just check. So the kids kind of enjoy it, but I think they get a lot from it. And actually, a lot of the work we're doing at the moment is how can we spread this out to other schools? How can we bring this to new areas, and also different age ranges? So we tend to focus on two groups of kids, like the kind of primary and secondary, but two cohorts within that. So we're looking to expand that out further.
Great. That's really cool.
Cool. So obviously at the moment, Redington has been based in London for the last 10 years or so. You mentioned about 12 months ago you kind of realised that there's this whole SaaS part of the business coming out. And you guys are looking to sort of expand that into Bristol?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, in tech, obviously, trying to find access to the right people is always a big challenge. And for me, there's a very basic principle that sits behind it, which is actually, why would you only work in one place if you could work in multiple places? You know, you've got access to different tech communities, different tech groups, and we have multiple product lines, so it's quite, you know, it makes kind of sense to have multiple locations. For me personally, I've got, you know, my family's from Bristol, I've got history here, and I know quite a few people in the tech community, so knowing how advanced Bristol is from a digital point of view, knowing the community that exists here already, it became a real kind of like, well, this is something that we should really look at. So we've spent the last few months, you know, talking to people, engaging with the community, and just super impressed, like getting to meet with people as to just like the level of talent and interest that like there is in the community, and also how people really care about this concept of making people financially secure. Like we're talking about fintech for good and making a difference in what we do, and people really get it. So for us, it's a really exciting time to just say, okay, we need to scale the team up, we need to grow, but let's do that in a new place and just, you know, really broaden what we're doing.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, great. So Redington are our newest hiring partner,
which
is obviously part of the reason you're here with us today on the sofa. And I understand you're doing some kind of event coming up next month?
Yeah, so 5th of September in this lovely building, we will be running an event where we really want to take the opportunity to introduce Redington to the tech community in Bristol. So we thought, how could we do that? Well, what we normally do is we just have a party, have some food and drink.
Pizza and beer.
Yeah, pizza and beer.
That's the way you do events, right?
That is, pretty sure that's the way you do events. Yeah, so we're going to come, and we're probably going to talk a little bit about our mission and being financially secure, and a little bit about Redstart. A couple of people from our development team are going to share what they've been working on recently. So we've got a project that's been built out in AWS, so it's kind of serverless, using a lot of Lambda functions, event sourcing, React front end, .NET Core. But actually, we've done a lot of work over the last few years, kind of moving. Firstly, we built out microservices architecture, and then we moved into serverless. So some really interesting stuff we've done around that space, and I think we're just going to use that as a bit of a knowledge share and kind of talk that through. And then I think I might talk a bit about fragile development and the pain of trying to work with enterprise partners when you're an agile development shop, which is an interesting thing that keeps popping up in my career. We're really lucky at the moment. We've got an awesome enterprise partner who we work really well with, and I can probably list 15 that I've maybe not had such a great relationship with in the past. So that should be a really interesting evening.
That's
right?
awesome. So you mentioned earlier that you're making the move from doing internal stuff to kind of almost being this software as a service kind of based company. Has that affected the way that the developers in the company are coding and the things, the processes that they go through as well? Or?
Yeah, I think it has, because it introduces a new dynamic. So when we grew up as a team, we were a smaller team focused on internal customers and internal needs. So that led to us basically adopting XP, which is perfect for internal team working with internal customers. You're sat there, the customers there, and it's really great. And a lot of the principles and tenets that sit behind XP are awesome, and they just really, really work well. And from that, we've built a great culture of kind of lots of ongoing learning and development, lots of pairing. We do code casts on Friday. We have a tech sprint every 5 weeks where we just focus on technical debt and DevOps. And, so we've grown up a really great culture around it. But it is different when you've got an external partner. Now, we've, as I said, we've been lucky, and we've worked really hard with our partner to get to that point where we do a genuine agile delivery with an enterprise partner. So we kind of have agreed high level what the features are. As time goes on, we evolve the backlog, we focus on the musts, everything else can wait. We do 2-week drops. We went into prod with the base level of functionality and built that out. We didn't wait, we built an MVP with them and went live. So that has allowed us to keep most of the way we work. It does introduce new channels of communication, new people to talk to, kind of project reporting that you might not do if it was internal. To be honest, a lot of that is actually really useful internally as well, because you can fall into the trap of not reporting on velocity and burn down.
Just serving having something to talk about at your retrospective is amazing, isn't it? Because it actually puts numbers and figures and stuff behind what you're trying to consolidate as a team.
That's exactly it, because otherwise it's just feeling. It's like, I feel like that was a good sprint. I feel like we did some good stuff.
Was it the week holiday I had?
Exactly.
Did we actually do anything?
Exactly.
A really great weekend. Great, okay, well, I think that probably wraps it up for us now. So, obviously, Redington being our latest hiring partner, if any of that tech stuff sounds interesting to you, they are hiring at the moment.
Yeah,
or just
so we're
about
looking to build a
start
team
hiring.
out the rest of the year.
Yeah, so currently expanding. So if you're already a developer, then get in touch and we can make that link. And they will be at our hiring event and engaging with us throughout our usual hiring partner scheme over the next couple of months.
And we're just about to take on our next cohort of students as well. So hopefully in a few months, we're cooking them for four months, and then they'll be ready.
Fantastic.
So
to make
pre-Christmas.
people financially secure.
Oh,
Work
this is
out
it,
perfect.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
thank
we'll catch up with you next time.
Yeah,
Great.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.